or call it Hinduism, whatever you will call it, has actually degenerated so much that today people don't know what it actually stands for. What does it mean to be a Hindu or a Varnashrama Dharma or a Sanatana Dharmi? So people have actually forgotten. This degeneration of this Dharma actually started not recently. It's not that few last 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, not even in the last 50 years, not even in the last 1,000 years. 5,000 years ago, the Dharma had become lupta, it had degenerated. Meaning, degeneration of the Dharma means, what is the meaning of degeneration of Dharma? People had forgotten, people had become bewildered, people had become confused at that time also. What this Dharma actually stands for. If I am a follower of this Varnashrama Dharma, what is the expectation from me? People had forgotten. And so therefore, Lord Krishna descended himself 5,000 years ago and to re-establish the Dharma. So what is this re-establishment of Dharma? Re-establishment of Dharma, Krishna himself tells in the Bhagavad Gita that samsthapanarthaya, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna takes on many incarnations to re-establish Dharma. So what is this re-establishment of Dharma? Krishna personally demonstrated that by instructing Arjuna on the Bhagavad Gita. So, giving the knowledge, understanding what is the purpose of life, who we are, who is God, what is our relationship with Him, what is our relationship with this material world, where are we going, what is our destination after this life, and who is or what is the source of this creation, why this whole world that we see and we all, why do we all exist? Fact is, we all exist. Just if you little bit introspect for a few minutes, we could as well not have existed, no? We could not have existed. But fact is, we are existing. We have an existence. So, the very fact that we exist should lead us to the question, why am I existing? Because I could not have existed also. But I am existing, so there must be some purpose because of which I am existing. So what is the purpose of my existence? All these, the answers to all these things constitute real knowledge. Knowledge, when we speak of knowledge, there are two kinds of knowledge. One is the knowledge which we learn in our colleges, in our schools, etc. You know, you learn about science, you learn about maths, you learn about history, you learn about biology, you learn about computers, blah, blah, blah. You learn a lot of things. All this constitute one kind of knowledge which is called material knowledge. Now, the knowledge which the Bhagavad Gita is speaking of, because of which Dharma has got corrupted or Dharma has become forgotten, is spiritual knowledge. And this spiritual knowledge is actually real knowledge, because that's the knowledge which illuminates us about our existence itself. It illuminates about ourselves. Whatever material knowledge we learn in school or college, you will not learn about yourself. You learn about the world around you. How to manipulate the world, why the world works like this, what is the law of buoyancy, what is the law of thermodynamics. You can learn how this world works, why the earth is going around the sun, why it is rotating, why it is revolving, etc., etc. You can learn all these things about the world around you. But what about you? Who are you? Where have you come from? Who has created you? What is the purpose of your existence? Who is teaching all these things? This knowledge is beyond the purview of material knowledge. By studying atoms and molecules and elements and compounds, you cannot understand who you are, where you are coming from, and what is the purpose of your existence. That, if you want to understand, you need Dharma. Only if you come to Dharma, you will get this knowledge. So this is also knowledge. It's not some blind faith. It is not some, I believe in Hinduism, therefore I am a Hindu. I believe in Christianity, therefore I am a Christian. It's not belief. It is a matter of knowledge. In the whole of the Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Krishna is not telling Arjuna to blindly believe. Hey, I told you, no, simply listen to what I am saying. No. Arjuna kept on asking questions and Krishna was going on responding to those questions. Questions and answers constitute the path of acquiring knowledge. Without questioning, there is no acquirement of knowledge. So, the fact is that dharma, re-establishment of dharma means giving knowledge about who we are, where we have come from, what is our existence, what is the purpose of life, etc. And so, by giving the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna re-established dharma. Now what happened? Even though Krishna 5,000 years ago, he gave the Bhagavad Gita and re-established the knowledge by bringing back the proper understanding of who we are, what we are, etc. And who is the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Cause of all causes, which Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita reveals it to be himself. Now, even though he did that, with time, again, that knowledge became lost. And so, therefore, when the knowledge became again corrupted, the Lord, like Krishna told in the Bhagavad Gita, Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is a discrepancy in dharma, meaning whenever there is a discrepancy in understanding the spiritual knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, when it is lost, when there is a discrepancy, when there is a misunderstanding, then Krishna incarnates. So, about 2,800 years ago, around 600, 700 BC, is when the Lord incarnated as Buddha. And he incarnated as Buddha, and what did he do? He said, I don't accept the Vedas, keep them aside. And he said, Ahimsa paramo dharma. Real dharma means you have to follow ahimsa. So why did the Lord himself do this? The Lord only, Krishna only gave the Vedas, he only gave the Bhagavad Gita, and he incarnates and tell, no, forget all that. Why? Because although the Vedas are the same, the Bhagavad Gita is the same, people started misinterpreting and misusing the knowledge given in the Vedas to conduct, to engage in unrestricted animal slaughter in the name of animal sacrifice, which is not the purpose of what the Vedas, when the Vedas talk about animal sacrifice, the idea is not to propagate and to allow unrestricted animal slaughter and meat eating. That's not the intention. Intention is to restrict. So when people started misusing the Vedas, the Lord incarnated and said, Hare, whatever knowledge I have given, they are misusing, so stop, forget all that. Right now you become a ahimsavadi. So first basic qualification you learn. You have become a barbarian, you have become an animal. Eating other animals is the job of an animal. You become less than an animal. So stop that, become a human being. First you become ahimsa, you follow ahimsa. So he established ahimsavada. And so once people started following Buddhism, and you know how Buddhism spread on a very large scale all over. It started in India, it started in Gaya, Bihar, in India. This whole Buddhism started and it spread all over. But today, you don't find Buddhism in India. It may be practiced in other countries, Japan, etc. But in India, where it originated, it is no more there. Why? Because although 2,800 years ago Buddha came, it was a temporary intervention meant to first stop people misusing this knowledge and their wrong understanding. Let us stop. How to stop their wrong understanding? Make them forget everything, whatever they have learnt. So, once Buddha had made them follow the path of ahimsa, what happened? Shankaracharya came. Shankaracharya came roughly about 2,300 years approximately. That's when he came. So, about nearly 1,000 years after, not 1,000 years, around 1,800 years, that's before now is when Shankaracharya appeared. And Shankaracharya, he traveled all over India. He went up to Kashmir. Even today, we have the Shankaracharya's place in Kashmir also. So he went up to there. You can imagine, he was born in Kerala. From all the way from Kerala to the topmost northern portion till Kashmir, he traveled all over India and he defeated Buddhist philosophy and he established that no Vedas are to be accepted and followed. Only thing is, he gave a slight twist to the philosophy of Buddhism. Lord Buddha said that ultimate liberation means we we merge into Shunya, or we negate our existence, we completely destroy our existence. Shankaracharya gave a little twist to that, and he said, no, there is slightly beyond that. We don't merge into Shunya, we merge into Brahman, because Brahman is the supreme. Brahman is an impersonal, Nirakar, Nirgun Brahman. There is something which is there which you cannot understand, which I cannot understand. There are no features, there are no qualities. It's something which is the supreme, which is the cause of all causes. So he established that. Now once people have came back from the fold of Buddhism to back to the following the Vedas, which is why you will see today Buddhism is out. That's because of the efforts primarily of Shankaracharya. After that, that paved the way for the next set of acharyas to come, which is about 1100 years ago, Ramanujacharya appeared. And he established that no, it's not just Brahman. Brahman is just an aspect of the Supreme Absolute Truth, who is none other than Narayana. And then 100 years after him, Madhvacharya came. So Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya very strongly established the Vaishnava philosophy, by which they established that the Supreme Absolute Truth is a person. So like this, over a period of 1200 years, the acharyas, they brought back, by the design of Krishna, they brought back the proper understanding of the Vedic culture of the Varnashrama Dharma, which is to understand that there is a Supreme Lord and we are all his part and parcel, and we have to, liberation means we have to go to Vaikuntha to serve him. And then after that, after Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, their whatever knowledge they gave us continued for some more time. But again, what happened is, with the advent of the Mughals and followed by the advent of the Britishers, with the advent of the Britishers, this knowledge also got destroyed. Why? Because even today you will find the teachings of Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya. But problem is, all their teaching is in Sanskrit. And the Britishers came and replaced our Sanskrit education system with an English education system, because of which people forgot Sanskrit. Fact is, in 1947, when the Britishers left India, the education before the Britishers came to India, the education system was, in every village there would be one Brahman, there would be a Gurukul, and anybody and everybody could go and educate it there. Education was free. Whatever the person, according to his capacity, could give some Guru Dakshina. Dakshina means, according to my capacity, I give. There is no capitation fee. There is no management fee. You have to pay for the examination this much. To sit in the exam, you have to write, to give this fees. To get your engineering certificate, you have to give one fees. To get admitted to the college, you have to get one fees. For that, you have to write one entrance exam. For that, you have to give one fees. So everywhere you have to give money. If you don't have money, no education. That's the present day. But those days it was not like that. So practically education was widely available, and on the streets, every Tom, Dick and Harry was a Sanskrit scholar, because that was a very common language in which people got educated in. But when the Britishers came in, they dismantled this whole system of Gurukula system, and by the time they left Indian shores in 1947, August 15th, India's education literacy rate, today India's literacy rate is how much? How much is it? Anybody knows? It's around 70 odd percent, right? Around 75 or 76%, around that's the region in which it is in. When the Britishers left India in 1947, our literacy rate in India was hardly about 12%. Only 12% of the population knew how to read and write. Can you imagine? This is what the Britishers did to India. And after the Britishers left India, India became an independent nation. And what did India do? They did not bring back the Gurukul system. They further propagated the English education system. So today all of us, we are very comfortable with speaking in English. Today I am also speaking English. You are understanding what I am saying. Suppose I start speaking in Sanskrit now, all of you will be looking at each other's face. What is this guy talking in French or German? We are not able to understand. Imagine, today people even learn French and German in college, right? But nobody studies Sanskrit. That is the situation. So the knowledge again became corrupted. It became, people lost the understanding of Varnashrama. That is why today you find people, they have no understanding of what is Varnashrama Dharma. Everybody is confused and giving his own interpretation. And therefore, the time was, the requirement of the time was, Krishna had to re-establish Dharma according to his own promise. Krishna is promised in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati. Whenever there is a decline of Dharma, Krishna will incarnate or he will send his messenger. This is Krishna's promise. So he has to re-establish now. And that Dharma has to be re-established in which language? Not in Sanskrit. It has to be re-established in English. So an Acharya has to come who will propagate that message strongly in English all over the world. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada had to come, and he, on the order of Krishna, and he has given that whole understanding of the Varnashrama Dharma in his books. So, today, if Varnashrama Dharma has to be re-established, Prabhupada has given that knowledge. All that we have to do is simply spread this knowledge. The more people read Prabhupada's books, the Dharma will get re-established. So, somebody may question why Krishna has to send a messenger. Why did Krishna not come personally? So, the fact is that re-establishing Dharma, to re-establish Dharma, Krishna does not have to come personally. He is the Supreme Lord. He is enjoying himself in Vrindavan with the Vrajavasis. He doesn't have to come. But 5,000 years ago, Krishna decided to come to enjoy with his devotees in Vrindavan, to give us a glimpse of the supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavan, how life is there to attract us and take us back to Godhead. And when he appeared, simultaneously, it so happened that that was the time when Dharma had to be re-established. So he re-established Dharma also. So it was like a side effect. It was not the main purpose for which Krishna descended. Krishna descends only for exhibiting his leelas. Krishna is always enjoying pastimes with his devotees. So the real responsibility of ensuring that Dharma is re-established from time to time, whenever people forget about its real purpose, when people forget the knowledge or misinterpret the knowledge, rests with the incarnations of the Lord as well as his messengers. So, by the way, when Krishna came, Krishna did that also. That's a different matter. So, therefore, the Prabhupada came and he has given his books. As long as his original books we are distributing and people are reading them, Dharma will flourish, it will be re-established. So, we have to understand that whenever the Lord descends, like for example, when Krishna descended 5,000 years ago, who got to closely engage with Krishna and participate in his leelas? It is the Pandavas, it is the Yadavas. So, these people become highly glorified. You can imagine their great fortune that they are able to, you can imagine, suppose today Krishna were to incarnate. And we have a meeting today. We have got a message, Krishna is descended and you all have been chosen to become his personal associates and participate in his pastimes. What will be the kind of, our enthusiasm and our fortune, how much we'll not be able to measure the amount of good fortune that we have got. So that is the great fortune of being able to participate in the leelas of the Lord's incarnation. So now, in today's world, Krishna, Kalikale, Nama Rupe Avatar, in Kali Yuga, Krishna has incarnated as his holy name. So, Krishna has incarnated as his holy name, and it is part of the pastimes of the holy name to re-establish this Dharma. So, if we are, we all have been in that way fortunate to be chosen by the holy name, which is the incarnation of Krishna, to participate in his pastime of re-establishing Dharma. Just like in 5,000 years ago, the Pandavas got to participate with Krishna in re-establishing Dharma. Like that, today, we all are the chosen few people to participate in this Leela of the Kali Yuga Nama Avatara to spread Dharma, to re-establish Dharma. So this is a wonderful, great fortune and great opportunity all of us are getting to participate in this Leela of Krishna, re-establishing Dharma, and by this we will be directly assisting the Supreme Lord, just like the Pandavas assisted, just like Arjuna assisted Krishna in re-establishing Dharma. So this is the importance of distributing the knowledge, the original unchanged meaning of the Vedic knowledge, which is given in Prabhupada's books. So hence, if Dharma has to be re-established, we have to distribute more and more of Prabhupada's books, and we are very fortunate to get this opportunity to participate in this pastime of the Yuga Avatara and to assist our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, who is the commander-in-chief of the army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in re-establishing the Dharma. So you can imagine our great fortune. We are all not when the Pandavas fought in the battle of Kurukshetra, there were so many soldiers fighting there. There were so many soldiers, right? But the commander-in-chief was Bhima himself. So you can imagine those who are directly reporting to Bhima, how much important role they would have played in the battle of Kurukshetra. So like that, in the battle of Kali Yuga, Srila Prabhupada is the commander-in-chief of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are directly reporting to Srila Prabhupada. So, we are playing a very, very important role in re-establishing Dharma, and Srila Prabhupada, Mahaprabhu, Krishna, Radharani, all of these personalities will be watching how we are performing, whether we are living up to the expectation of being the direct reportees of the commander-in-chief. So commander-in-chief means he has to do something extraordinary. If the commander-in-chief comes to the battlefield and fights like an ordinary soldier, you will tell, "Arey, what commander-in-chief, yaar? We thought he will do he is a big top, he will do so many big achievements, but he is fighting like a normal soldier." So, Srila Prabhupada, because he is the commander-in-chief, he did such wonderful things. Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya went up to Kashmir. Ramanujacharya went up to Kathmandu, Nepal. And Ramanujacharya established 106 out of the 108 Divya Desam, 106 temples he established. What did Srila Prabhupada do? Prabhupada went all over the world and he established 108 temples of Krishna. So this is a commander-in-chief. He did what nobody had done before, nobody could even dream of. So this is what a commander-in-chief is. So if Prabhupada is a commander-in-chief and he is doing such miraculous things, then we as disciples of Prabhupada, we also have to got some responsibility to perform according to that. We also should not be like, doing some small things. We should also measure up to the reputation of Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, with full enthusiasm, with great energy, we have to participate in this Leela of book distribution. This is the Leela of the Holy Name to re-establish Dharma. With this firm conviction, we go out, distribute Prabhupada books, and we get the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, of Nityananda Prabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Radharani, and Krishna Balaram. And by this, we will ourselves become eligible to go back to Godhead. So with these few words, I am requesting again one and all of you to take this mission of distributing Prabhupada's books during this book distribution marathon seriously, enthusiastically, and take the special blessings of Srila Prabhupada. So with this, I'll end my talk. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.